Hello, my name is Jennifer Barber. I am the Archivist for the Desert Southwest Conference of the United Methodist Church. Welcome to part 2 of Managing Church Records. Today we're going to focus on historic church records, mainly how to preserve, organize, and store your historic records so that they are available for future generations. Let's talk about some of the preservation challenges you might find in your church's records. First, let's talk about scrapbooks. All of us probably have them. They're full of photos, maybe some other things. For the most part, our photo albums and scrapbooks are going to be perfectly fine. These old black paper albums, beautiful. Don't take them apart, leave them be. If you have images or photographs falling out, you can put them back in. I would recommend using photo corners instead of just gluing the photograph or whatever else back in. Even if you have these slightly newer photo albums where it's just glued in, sometimes it might be falling apart, but these are fine. Just leave them. This way you have a record of what originally looked like. The photograph albums that you do want to take apart are going to be the newer ones that are the plastic magnetic albums. These actually do horrible things to your photographs. You can tell a little bit on the edges of the paper, see how it's bled and discolored it. It'll do that to your photographs too. So what you actually want to do is pull these out. Just go ahead and open it up. See if you can get the photographs to pop out on their own. Sometimes you can, but if it's kind of stuck, what you want to do is take a piece of thread. This is just plain old piece of thread, white thread. You can also use floss for like your teething floss. And you're just going to put it under the photograph and just kind of walk it back and forth, and slowly it'll come out. Now let's talk about some of the issues you might come across with paper or book documents. This book has seen some better days. It's from the 1920s. First thing you notice is the cover's off. We'll get to that part in a minute. First, I want to show you some of the things inside the book that might be issues. Newspaper presents special challenges. It's made from highly acidic paper, and because of that, it is going to bleed everywhere. You see the shadow of the paper? That's actually transfer of, as the paper breaks down, it releases acids and it gets everywhere. Now there is a way to stop this, and it's a secret, or not it's a secret. You actually want to take white printer paper. This is actually going to be perfectly fine. And you're going to do something called interleaving, where you put a sheet in front and a sheet behind and just kind of sandwich the newspaper. But first, we have to remove the metal bits. Not sure if you can see, but this is actually held in with a straight pin. This is a very old, common practice back before the days of paper clips and staples of securing things together. So we're going to go ahead and pull that straight pin out. Loveliness. Make sure you don't stick yourself, it's a little rusty. And then we're going to take our two pieces of paper. We're going to stick one behind, one in front, and that's going to stop it from transferring anymore. Now it's not just newspaper that's highly acidic, you can also get regular paper that's highly acidic. As you can see, this is a sheet of notes. It has transfer on both sides, so lovely. It's also held in by a couple of straight pins. Let's go ahead and remove those. And then you're going to take your two sheets of printer paper again. You're going to put one sheet in front, one sheet behind, and it'll stop any additional transfer. Now, why do we want to remove straight pins, paper clips, staples? Well, it's because they will rust, even here in Arizona. You don't believe me? Well, here we have a few pages that have some paper clips in it. If you can tell on the facing page, you actually have some rust stains from the paper clips.
Wow.
So we're going to go ahead and remove these. Usually they're pretty simple to remove. You just slide them right off. Sometimes you will actually have to go in and sort of pry it open a little bit. Doing a little too good of a job. Now, you might be saying, well, if we have to remove all the paper clips and staples, straight pins, how are we going to secure things together? Well, what you're actually going to do is take some of these little plastic paper clips, and these are what you're going to use instead. These won't harm the papers. You just go ahead and stick it right on there, and there you go. Now, how do we bind up this book? Depends on how often you're going to access it. If this is a book you use regularly, then there are ways to rebind the book. It's not something I would suggest for an older book like this, where you're probably not going to look at it often. You just want to tie it up so that nothing's going to fall out. There's lots of loose papers in here. And what you're going to do is tie it up like a present. So you're going to take a piece of string, twine. Basically you want something that's going to be undyed, unbleached. And you just kind of wrap it up. Now at this point what you might want to do is stop and add a little gift tag. Just drop it on, and on here you can write what's contents of the book, what years does it cover. Makes it sort of easier later when you're trying to access it. Am I wanting something that's in this book? Do I have to open it and untie it, open it, look for it, or can I just read the tag? There you go. It's all tied up, nothing's gonna fall out. It's nice and sturdy. Next, I want to talk about how to remove staples. You can see there are 3 staples here. And you don't actually want to get at them from the front part, instead the back part. You can just use the regular old claw, and you just want to gently pry up the back. Once that's done, then you can just pull it out from the front. Sometimes this might take a little bit more straightening on the back side, but this way you're not ripping the staple out from the front. And there you go. Staples out. It's because staples tend to rust as well. If you notice, I haven't been wearing gloves. That's because the general rule is you don't want to wear gloves. Your hands produce a natural oil. Usually you don't want this getting on things. However, putting on gloves means you actually lose a lot of dexterity. So instead what you want to do is make sure you have clean, dry hands before you start touching anything. Only time I would suggest wearing gloves is when you're either going to be handling a lot of photographs, or if you're going to be handling something that you don't want on your hands. So the last part of paper that I want to talk about is the challenges that come with water. Things get wet, bad things can happen. You need to make sure your things are properly dried out. If that doesn't happen, you can get something called mold. So, for those of you who have never seen mold before, let me show you. Notice I have it completely bagged up so that it is not touching anything else. This way it's not going to contaminate anything else. Oh, you can see the nice black mold growing. It's all the way through the books. Not pretty. In this case, it's inactive mold. The mold is dead. It's that lovely black color. I would not suggest sticking your face in here, but it's not active. If you have green mold, or mold that looks like it's growing and fuzzy, what I want you to do is go ahead, bag it immediately, and call me. And when you're done, wash your gloves immediately, please. Just take them off. Don't touch anything else with them. Now we want to physically arrange all of our church's records. We're going to start by bringing all of the records together into one place, and then we're going to group like records with other like records. For example, we want all of the United Methodist Women records together. This means both current records and historic records from predecessor groups, such as the Women's Missionary Society or the Women's Society of Christian Service. Once they're all together, you're then going to arrange them chronologically. Now I understand for some of our churches we don't have a lot of early records. In cases like that, just arrange everything chronologically to start with. You can do that up to a point when you have more records and then break it down by group, or just continue to do it chronologically, whatever best suits your needs. Once we have everything arranged, you're going to start putting it in file folders, or boxes, or file cabinets, whatever best suits your storage area. File folders are going to be the best, either hanging or the regular folders. I would not suggest using plastic tubs. Only in limited situations where you need them for protection of your records. Once you have the records folded, you're either going to write on the tab or add a tab so that you know what's going to be in each folder, what's going to be in each box, what's going to be in each file drawer. Once you've labeled everything, then you're going to create an inventory. This way you know where everything is. Start with what's the contents of that box, and then list all the folders in it, or what is the drawer in the file cabinet, and list all the contents in it. If you have items scattered around your church, what room is it in, which file cabinet, which closet, make sure you label it clearly. And I do suggest you store your records in a cool, dry, and dark place. The general rule is you don't want your records someplace that you yourself don't want to be hanging out in. Thank you for listening to our latest webinar. Here are some more resources for you. The General Commission on Archives and History has some amazing resources on their website. And if you want more information on specific preservation challenges, then the Northeast Document Conservation Center has many leaflets available for specific things. And as always, feel free to contact me. Have a nice day.